In the next few days, your 8th grade students are going to decide the fate of a vacant factory in a 10-day simulation called The Hearing. Their mission is to recommend a site reuse that stays within a fixed $4.5 million capital grant. To get your classroom ready for this committee work, we need to organize the materials, secure the confidential files, and master the grading system. This entire setup takes exactly 20 minutes. Before starting, verify that you have downloaded the version 1.4 folder package and that you have a clear window of time to complete these steps. This brief, focused preparation ensures that once the simulation begins, you can step back and let the students lead the civic deliberation. Begin by establishing your digital workspace. Open the master folder and identify your initial reading materials. Spend your first 12 minutes reading the Teacher Confidence Guide and skimming the daily release map. These documents establish your roadmap for the next 10 days. Now we reach the most critical action of the setup. You must publish only the contents of Folder 4, labeled Student Launch Files, to your class. Avoid the mistake of uploading the entire folder package to your learning management system all at once. If students access the Teacher Confidential folder, the simulation loses its impact. At this stage, your students should only see the Day 0 orientation, the Day 1 baseline, and their launch-safe digital workbook. This strict file segregation is the only way to preserve the simulation's uncertainty. It prevents students from skipping ahead to see which proposal wins before they have weighed the evidence. Once you begin, you will operate behind the release boundary. This dictates how materials are handled from Day 2 through Day 8. To maintain sequence and narrative tension, you will release exactly one new file per day to the committee. For example, on Day 4, you unlock the fictional comparables. This introduces new variables that force students to re-examine their previous assumptions. On Day 7, the 5-year municipal support model drops into the timeline. This is a planned disruption that challenges the committee to justify the long-term costs of their favorite ideas. During these deliberations, your role is to facilitate. Instead of lecturing, ask students to name sources, explain methods, and identify alternative viewpoints in the data. It is vital that you never signal that one specific proposal, the hub, the homes, or the center, is the correct or safe choice. Your goal isn't to steer them to a specific answer, but to ensure they produce a clear record of evidence and honest revision each day. The simulation reaches its peak on Day 9. This is when the student committee must finalize and vote on their official reuse recommendation. On Day 10, you will reveal the results by handing the committee only the specific consequence card matching their recommendation. Every card follows the same structure. It lists one observed benefit of their project and one pressure point that requires their attention. The pressure point doesn't mean they chose poorly. It simply introduces a new reality for them to manage in their final reflection. This chart shows the 120-point grading system used to evaluate the entire simulation. This is an objective way to score reasoning rather than conclusions. 64 points are awarded for daily evidence and reasoning across days 1 through 8. Students earn this by analyzing sources and documenting why they held or changed their positions. The final Day 9 recommendation is worth 32 points. This scores their claim, their use of data, and how well they addressed counterclaims. The final 24 points come from the Day 10 reflection, where students interpret the feedback on their consequence card and examine their own thinking process. The most important rule of this system is that no points depend on picking up preferred proposal. The grade reflects only the quality of the student's logic. Your launch files are posted, your confidential folder is secure, and you have a clear understanding of the 120-point rubric. Now trust the simulation. Let the students wrestle with that fixed $4.5 million budget and the trade-offs it requires. You will see the classroom come alive with authentic civic deliberation as students stand to examine blueprints and debate the specific needs of their community. By following this framework, you have successfully moved from the role of a lecturer to a facilitator of real-world critical thinking. You are ready for Day 1.